one name, who was influential in your musical determination and upbringing?
Well, that would be my father. He was a bass player when he was a young man. He played the bass and made money to pay for his college. Eventually he became a medical doctor, but he always had a great passion for music, and of the 4 children in our family, I was the one that seemed to pick up music, and literally I picked up the drumsticks. And my father and I were always very close musically, and as father and son, and as best friends. So he's really the person who was the most important for my sense of musical aesthetics and personal ethics.
Who did you pick up on your first big job in a big band?
Who did I...
Obviously, a drummer lost that position, lost that job.
Well, I didn't kick out. The Stan Kenton band needed a drummer. The man who was playing, a very fine drummer named Jerry McKenzie, was leaving the band for personal reasons, and so it was just an opportunity that arose. And I've always said that I've been very lucky, very fortunate to have been able to, get a chance to play in different musical situations. The important element that goes along with luck or good fortune is to be prepared to do your best in that situation or that opportunity. And so I was always able to concentrate enough to do a good job, and I also had a fair amount of confidence to do my best, and it's worked out okay.
How old were you then?
I had just turned 18 when I joined the Kenton band. I met Stan when I was 7 years old. I used to go to these summer jazz band camps, and that was my primary source of jazz education. It was every summer when I was young. I went to a school named the Interlochen Arts Academy. It was a private arts school in Michigan, in the center of the United States. So ever since I was 14 years old, I was spending a great amount of time away from home, which was good training for being a touring musician.
Now, how has drumming changed in the last 30 years?
I think that the fundamentals have remained the same. The importance of playing good time and being musical. The most important element in terms of change has been the improvements in the jazz education systems, not only in America but throughout the world. And all of us who are involved with jazz education, I think, can feel encouraged and feel quite good by the fact that musicians seem to be getting better and better at a younger age. So the fact that we also have internet and compact discs and DVDs has just brought a tremendous amount of information to the students of drumming, much more than was available. I mean, drum clinics. When I was young, I went to one drum clinic. They were very few and far between, but now it's hard to take too many steps without running into a drum clinic someplace.
Who would you say are the emerging young drummers which are interesting? If you were to name 3 of them.
Well, the drummers that I think of as being the new great drummers are not emerging. They have emerged and established themselves tremendously well. Drummers like Billy Stewart and Jeff Tane Watts, Jeff Ballard, who plays with Chick Corea, Ari Heinig, Brian Blade, the list goes on and on. Keith Carlock, another stupendous young drummer. A lot of hip stuff going on out there.
Now, I heard you listening to Sly before, and you were really grooving with something that goes back a long, long time. Why does that music have that big potential to move? Someone like you who does very complex stuff.
The lesson in that music is that the stuff that really grooves has a tremendous amount of space built into it, enough so that the listener, their imagination can enter into the beat, and that's what makes your body want to move. If every note is being played, then there's nothing left for the other musicians or for the listener to become involved with. So the tune I was listening to was a Sly song called In Time, and the drumming is by Andy Newmark. It was a tremendous recording. In fact, when Miles Davis heard that particular song, the story goes that he called a rehearsal, and the rehearsal consisted of his having his band listen to it over and over again for a couple of hours, because he recognized how fresh this kind of thing was. So, drummers like Bernard Purdy, Andy Newmark, a lot of the R&B, boogaloo, kind of fatback drummers, a lot of which came out of the James Brown school. It's very strong, it's very fundamental, it's very clever, but there are all these beautiful amounts of space that makes it really danceable. And then, when disco came along, it was a different kind of moving. It was just almost like a march, boom, 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 boom. And actually, I mean, some of the rap stuff has come back to this very syncopated, groovy kind of dancing kind of rhythm.
What do you listen to when you're off the road, when you're not working?
I listen to some jazz. I listen mostly to classical music.
Any specific part of classical music?
I like to listen to Bach and Mozart. I'm listening to more Beethoven now. I also like to listen to Bartok. When I was younger, I listened to a lot of Stravinsky and Edgar Varese, and I've always liked Debussy. So, I like melody and the harmony of classical music. I also like the sound and texture. I like the sensibility of it, and the purity, particularly of like Bach and Mozart. There's just architectural, mathematical kind of brilliance of it.
How would you evaluate the Italian European jazz scene?
Very healthy, and one name I can give you is the wonderful pianist Rita Marcotulli, and we're working together right now. The first time I came to Italy was 33 years ago, and I was 18 years old playing drums with the Stang Hen Band, and we first went to Milan, and it was there that I met Enrico Rava, and that was the first chance I really got to hear European music live, and I started getting more and more recordings, and I really liked the sensibility of European musicians. Ettore Fioravanti, Roberto Gatto, two excellent drummers here in Italy. I'm going to leave out names here, but the jazz scene is excellent here.